This is Queens. This is not Manhattan. This is not Brooklyn. There's a difference.
My parents came alive when the camera was on. It was a really um, cool, creative way for us to engage with each other.
People who are not from New York, I want them to see this version of New York.
It's springtime in Charm Circle. We haven't been thrown out into the street yet by the bank because we go from paycheck to paycheck with no savings.
What is not great about Charm Circle?
Counted them.
Order a pizza for
What's with the pizza? There is no peace. There is no harmony.
There's a lack of communication in this house.
I'm Nira Burstein, and I'm the director of Charm Circle.
Hi, I'm Fred Armisen, and I'm one of the producers of Charm Circle. You're watching Picture Locked.
This is a film that pulls the veil back of what happens behind the scenes in one family.
If I were to explain the film in one sentence, I would say this is a look into the life experience in Queens, New York.
Well, I say the main character is probably my dad, Uri, because he is the protagonist and, part of any controversy in the film. And then my mom, it's also about her, and they're a couple that have been together like 40 plus years. And then also my sisters. I'm the middle daughter, and my older sister, Judy, and my younger sister, Adina, are all part of the story.
For me, what led me to the film was that I met Nira, and the first thing Nira said to me was, I have this film that you'd be interested in. And there's a specificity and a boldness to saying something like that. So I thought, I bet I do want to see this film. I immediately was moved by the character of her dad. And as soon as I saw footage of him, I thought, this is someone who I'd like to play someday. This might be a good character. And I watched the whole thing, and I also found that I was emotionally affected by the story, unexpectedly. First I thought, okay, it's about this family and what they go through. It's about Queens, I love that. But then things unfold in an unexpected way, and it's very sweet. So it didn't have cynicism, it had this optimism of, you might think things might look grim, but guess what? There's a happy ending.
I'm a filmmaker. I wanted to make movies, and sometimes you just start with what you know and what you have access to, and that was my family.
Grim is a strong word. I didn't mean to say that there's anything, but they have their struggles, let's say. Nothing too dramatic, but they have their struggles, and it's nice to see that things do work out.
Well, I do hope that people are both, entertained and see, themselves or someone that they know or someone they've seen on public transport and been like, what's their inner life like? And spark curiosity. I think it's good to be curious about the people that are in your life and to get to know them and to understand where they come from. And I guess the biggest takeaway for me was that my parents are people. It sounds simple, but you forget that growing up, that no, they had this whole life that led them to here.
A couple things that I hope people can get from this film. First thing is, people who are not from New York, I want them to see this version of New York. Just like I would like to see something, I'd love to see a movie like this about a family in Mumbai or Glasgow or Seattle or some place where I don't live. I like seeing wow, what does this look like? I like that representation of New York. This is Queens. This is not Manhattan. This is not Brooklyn. There's a difference in the accent, in the architecture, in the rooms, just the way it all is. It's very different than Long Island, Staten Island, Bronx. The other thing is Nira's dad. There's the character is something we haven't seen that much before, and that is what happens to someone who plays the guitar, who likes rock and roll, but isn't a rock and roller. A person who I think wasn't even aspiring to be a rock musician, but they have that music in their lives. Because his hair is long, but he's not like a hippie. What is that person? So it kind of goes against the cliche of what we think a religiously conservative person would look like, or what a musician would, what they'd lean towards. And then Nira's mom being what I think is kind of artsy person. Just, you've met people like this before. You know, it's just like there's a little distant, but kind of dreamy. So what's going on there?
I got to look in the refrigerator.
It's not plaster, it's concrete.
The freeze, I said I'm going. I'm leaving this house. I'm leaving the glass house soon.
See the movie.
You could see it starting April 3rd on Documentary Plus.
Charm Circle, that's the place we live. Think she's gonna leave soon, I hope not too soon if she may.
All right. So I like to have interaction.